All right, let's get Avery Johnson in here. Avery, we looked at some metrics a little bit earlier. Our research team cooked them up, and it said that the Heat are actually better with Tyler Herro out of the game. You buying that?
No, I'm not buying that. Now, he didn't play well, in game three, 4 for 15 from the field, and just hasn't been able to get in a serious rhythm. But if you ask Eric Spoelstra, does he want Tyler Herro on the court for 28 minutes a game for the rest of this season, including this series? The answer would be yes. This kid's meant so much to the Heat's team, especially when things break down late in the shot clock or if Jimmy Butler gets double teamed. Sometimes he's been the Robin to Jimmy Butler's Batman. So I'm not really buying it. The Heat would rather have Tyler Herro in uniform tonight, especially on the road in the Boston Garden.
Well, they are likely going to have Jimmy Butler. He's listed as questionable, but every intention is that he's going to play. But what kind of a position is Eric Spoelstra going to be in without Herro and with Butler banged up, Kyle Lowry questionable as well?
Yeah, it's a tough situation, but nobody feels sorry during this time of the year when you're in the Eastern Conference Finals. It's the old adage, the next man up. You got to continue to find ways. And, the Heat found ways to win, and Kyle Lowry played a significant role. This is a team that doesn't make excuses. They really take on the personality of Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra. They have just an unbelievable culture. So if somebody's out, they'll be able to go to the next guy. Jimmy Butler's averaged, 28 points and 7 assists in the playoffs. And this guy's been, an even 4.9 assists. So if he's not in the lineup, that hurts them, especially on the defensive end when you're trying to slow down guys like Brown and Tatum, and now Marcus Smart, who had a breakout game in game 2 against Miami. So Jimmy Butler, I think, is touch and go with a lot of those guys when they're questionable. They really are the glorified game time decisions. But we'll see if he starts the game, then how effective he's going to be as the game wears on, especially when you start, that halftime break and you get into the third and fourth quarter of this game tonight.
They won game 3, able to hang on without Jimmy Butler for much of that, without Tyler Herro toward the end of that game. Kyle Lowry made a big difference, especially on the defensive end in his first game of the series. Heat were plus 15 in turnover margin in game 3. How do the Celtics adjust tonight?
Well, again, Kyle Lowry, he's a champion. This guy's, he's played with Kawhi Leonard. They won championship in Toronto. He knows what it takes. And he basically gave Marcus Smart and the Boston Celtics some of their own medicine. The same way Marcus Smart affected that game, not just offensively, but defensively in game 2 in Miami. Kyle Lowry did some of the same things. And also the 6 assists and, and the points and just his presence on the floor and his physicality. And he gives his team a lot of confidence with or without Jimmy Butler. So it was basically, the Celtics were looking at their version of Marcus Smart with Kyle Lowry, and the steals, the 19 steals, which, led to 23 turnovers. It's hard to overcome that because those are 19 times that the Celtics didn't get a shot at the basket.
And Bam was huge on the offensive end. He scored a total of 16 points in games 1 and 2 in Miami. But in game 3, 31 points. He was 15 of 22 from the floor. Is that an anomaly, or can it be somewhat replicated tonight?
It can be replicated, especially when Bam is initiating the offense and he gets the ball off the backboard and he operates at that 0.5 type of game. He puts a lot of pressure on the Celtics big men as he's bringing that ball up the floor. And then in the pick and roll game, whether he's a ball handler, whether he sets the screens, give his teammates credit that when he picked and rolled in that pocket area, he got the ball in the pocket. He was very decisive. He made really compact moves. He did a nice job. Once Miami got a steal, he was running the floor extremely hard. But he wasn't hesitant. He dominated Hartford in the interior. And then when he got smaller matchups like it is here with Brown, he was able to use his opposite hand. So when he has his left and right hand jump hook around the basket going, he's tough to handle. And then really dominating on the offensive glass. That's a huge key for Bam Adebayo, especially in this series.
And on the Boston side of things, I mean, you feel like they need it tonight. Can't afford to fall behind 3-1 going back to Miami. And they're going to need more from Jayson Tatum, right? 10 points, 3 of 14 shooting. But I was looking at the playoff log, and this is basically the same exact thing he did in the Game 3 loss to the Bucks. He had 10 points in that one. He was 4 of 19 shooting. And then he went off for 30, 34, and 46 in the next 3 games. How does he get back on track in this series?
Take care of the basketball. You know, in Game 1, what was it, 6 turnovers in the third quarter. The team had 23 turnovers. He was very weak with the basketball, especially driving to the basket. He's got to know that they're going to try to strip him, especially if it's Bam or Kyle Lowry involved. So he's got to take care of the ball. And then he's got to get quality threes. You know, sometimes, you know, when he's not shooting the three well, it's not just the defense, but he's just taking poor threes that are highly contested, and he's not creating that separation at the three-point line. And then, you know, he's got to mix it up in the mid-range. You know, use his step back, create that separation. So if he can create that separation, take quality threes, take care of the basketball, especially in transition. Those fast break threes are very deflating to the team, and then it gets Miami out running in transition going the other way. So that's the recipe of success for Jayson Tatum.
And we saw how much better he is following a loss, and the Celtics have been perfect following losses this postseason. They're 4-0 after a loss. What's the key to quickly flushing a playoff loss and not letting it snowball?
Yeah, I just think you got to get off to a good start. Get this crowd into the game. You know, try to build that 10-point lead in the first quarter. Keep the Heat on their heels. Remember, the Heat struggles to score in the half court. Both of their wins are high turnover games, especially for Jayson Tatum. So take care of the ball, get off to a good start, get in the fast lane. Marcus Smart's going to have to score the ball tonight. They can't afford for him to have one of these low double-digit games. He's got to score close to 20 points tonight and really take some pressure off of Jayson Tatum, continue to win the rebound game, but get in the fast lane. Get off to a fast start. Get this crowd in the game. And then remember, as we've seen in the Mavericks Golden State Warriors series, the third quarter is significantly important. Look at Luka Doncic. I think he's averaging 4 points in the third quarters of these first 3 games. You got to get off to a good start in the third quarter and really dominate in the second half.
Not only 4-0 following losses, but they've won all 4 of those games by 8+. The line is 6 tonight. Celtics -6 at home. Who do you have?
I got the Celtics winning tonight. It'll be a closer game. You know, I like the Celtics. And I think this game is going to come down to the last minute, you know, the last 2 or 3 possessions, and the Celtics win a nail biter tonight. But who knows? The way these games go, they're either going to win by a nail biter or they'll win by 25 points. You just never know. These series are very hard to call, but you still have 2 excellent teams, 2 well-coached teams, first-year coach and Ime Udoka, Coach Spo, who's won a couple of championships. I really, as a former coach, really like the way both of these guys are strategizing and they're tacticians on both sides of these games and making adjustments. I think the Celtics are going to make the necessary adjustments to win this game tonight.
Celtics in a tight one. The total is 207.5. It's hit the over each and every time, so that total is coming down here in Game 4. Avery Johnson with us here on CBS Sports HQ. Tonight's tip-off just after 8:30 Eastern Time. And then tomorrow, Golden State can sweep Dallas. The Mavericks, close to a pick-em, but the Mavericks favored by 1 to keep that series going. The NBA Finals, regardless of how long these series go, the finals will begin a week from Thursday.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.